They are opportunistic and they decide their actions by weighing profit and loss, convenience and inconvenience, and personal gain or harm. Suddenly, in that very Seeta, they began to see a goddess. Ram. सियावर रामचंद्र की जय. In today's edition of Manas for Manas, we will go through the Sundarkand, Doha number 10, Chaupai number 4, through which we will understand what impact did Trijata's dream have on all the attendants in Ashok Vatika. यह सपना मैं कहूँ पुकारी, होई ही सत्य गए दिन चारी, तासु बचन सुनित सब डरई, जनक सुता के चरण ही पड़ई. As we discussed earlier, Trijata was playing a psychological game with all the attendants. She knew that these maidservants, though born into the clan of the Rakshasas, were extremely cowardly. They were tormenting Seeta only out of fear of Ravan. If they could be frightened by Ravan, they could just as easily be frightened by someone else. The only requirement was that the new fear should be greater than the fear of Ravan. With this very objective, Trijata showed them a mirror of the future through her dream. After narrating the dream, she also declared that it was not merely a dream but a truth destined to come to existence. And not sometime in the distant future, but very soon. When Trijata said this with such confidence, the psychological impact she intended to create on the attendants was indeed achieved. All the attendants became terrified, and in order to escape the consequences of that dream, they became ready to repent. This is the very nature of cowardly people. They do not possess a firm ideology of their own. They have no solid principles nor any lasting commitment. They are opportunistic and they decide their actions by weighing profit and loss, convenience and inconvenience, and personal gain or harm. It is said that when a ship sinks, rats are the first ones to abandon it. In the same way, cowards always turn towards whichever side appears heavier. That is exactly what these attendants were doing. Goswami Tulsidas ji says, यह सपना मैं कहूँ पुकारी, होई ही सत्य गए दिन चारी, तासु बचन सुनित सब डरई, जनक सुता के चरण ही परई. Trijata declared, I say this with certainty that this dream will come true within 4 days. That is, very soon. When all the maidservants heard this confident proclamation from Trijata, they immediately fell at the feet of Janaka's daughter, Seeta. The same Seeta whom they had been threatening to tear apart and devour, the same Seeta whom they had been calling arrogant, foolish, and impractical, the same Seeta whom they had been pressuring to surrender herself to Ravan. Suddenly, in that very Seeta, they began to see a goddess. Even if it was driven by fear, Trijata's plan succeeded and all the attendants stopped tormenting Seeta. Trijata had also told them that Sri Ram's wrath would fall upon them as well because they had greatly oppressed Janaki. In the Valmiki Ramayana, Sarga number 27, Shlok number 40, Trijata says to her fellow attendants, Priyam Bahumatam Bharyam Vanvasam Anuvratam भत्सिताम तर्जिताम वापि na anumansyati Raghavah. Raghav will never forgive you for the abusive words spoken and the threats given to his beloved and revered wife Seeta, who stood by him even during his exile. Now the attendants began to think, the one who would completely destroy the 10-headed Ravan, annihilate Lanka's mighty army, whose single servant, one Vanara alone, would reduce the entire city of Lanka to ashes, who would wipe out all the demons and illusionists of Ravana's army, what fate could such a force bring upon us? Therefore, they concluded that it was best to quietly fall at Sita's feet and beg for forgiveness. So what lessons do we learn from today's Chopai? That cowardly people have no steadfast principles. They always shape their conduct according to convenience and personal safety. Baba's Brahmagyan today is dedicated to those who oppress the weak. As long as the Demonesses believed that Seeta was alone, captive and helpless, they all tried to display their power over her. But the moment they realized that the supreme warrior Sri Ram was coming to protect her, they tucked their tails and fled. Just like this lion thinking, it's only a small child, I'll make him my prey today. But the moment it sees the child's mother standing there, it immediately backs away and runs off. मैंने तो इन चौपाइयों को आप तक पहुंचा दिया, इन्हें आगे बढ़ाने की अब है आपकी बारी। तो बोलो, मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी, द्रबहु सुदशरथ अजिर बिहारी।